Alexa. A familiar voice called out my name, my real name, making me jump. I turned around to see Darren striding toward me from the other direction. Maybe someday I would get used to the captain of the guard calling me Alexa rather than Alex, as he had for years when he thought I was a boy. "Darren, what is it?" I asked as he closed the gap between us, his own lit torch chasing more of the shadows away. "There's a man at the gate who's demanding entrance to the palace. He claims to be from Dancy, acting as a runner to warn us that a delegation has been deployed by King Armando and will be arriving within a day or two." "A delegation?" I repeated in disbelief. "Has Dancy ever sent a delegation before?" "No. Not so much as a political emissary, as far as I know." A cold chill skittered down my spine. "Why send one now?" "He claims they have come to celebrate the coronation of the new king." When his eyes met mine, I could see my own nervousness reflected in their dark depths. A number of different scenarios ran through my mind in quick succession. Reasons why the King of Dancy, Hector's brother, would send a delegation now. Each was worse than the last. "We should increase the watches and guards in the palace while they're here," I said. "No matter what, we can't trust Dancy, and we need to alert the king. That's why I came up here." "Alert me to what?" I spun around to see Damian pulling open his door, wearing nothing more than a pair of pants, his hair mussed by sleep, his jaw shadowed with stubble. My heart jumped into my throat, and my fingers tightened around the hilt of my sword. But he wasn't looking at me. Instead, he gave the captain of his guard a questioning look. "We didn't mean to wake you, my liege." Darren inclined his head. "You didn't. I couldn't sleep." Damian's voice was clipped. He still wouldn't look at me. "Now tell me what's happening. Your uncle, King Armando, has apparently sent a delegation that will be arriving at the palace shortly. A runner has preceded them to warn us of their coming." Darren kept his voice level, indicating no response to this news. Damian lifted one eyebrow, his gaze finally flickering to mine, then quickly away. It lasted less than a second, and yet the brief connection sent a wave of awareness through me. I'd been guarding him, standing next to him all day long, but for some reason, possibly because he was half naked, standing only a few feet away from him now, in the middle of the night, felt too intimate. In the low light, his shockingly blue eyes were shadowed. I couldn't read his expression as I forced my eyes to stay on his face, rather than letting my gaze stray to his chest or abdomen. "Alexa?" Darren said, with a hint of exasperation as though he were repeating himself. I quickly straightened my spine as I turned away from the king to look at Darren. He gave me a sharp, questioning look. "Do you still agree that we need to increase the watches and guard presence in the palace for as long as the Dancian party is here?" "Yes," I said. My heart beat unsteadily in my chest, but I hoped that my expression remained neutral. "Yes, I do." "And where do you suggest we recruit the extra help?" "The army is already short-staffed," Damian pointed out. Shortly after being crowned king, Damian had released the orphan boys from their forced enrollment in the army. Many stayed, as they had nowhere else to go, but there was a significant number who had quit, returning to their ravaged villages and homes to try to put the horrors of the war and Hector's reign of terror behind them. Even Nolan, Damian's former handler, had chosen to leave the palace. Damian had done the right thing, letting them choose, but it left Antion with a diminished army. I answered without looking at the king to see if he was watching me or not, gazing just past him instead. "Now that there is no threat of attack from Blevon, we could pull some of the soldiers assigned to the outer patrols into the city and pull the city patrols into the palace. But that would take weeks, and the dancing